Hey everyone, in this video we're going to be talking about how to build network marketing leaders in your group. All right, so this is a topic that I really enjoy talking about because it truly is one of the things that separates the amateurs from the pros, and that is creating leaders within your group. How do you do so? Everything in network marketing when it comes to your future success is based on the leadership inside of your organization. The more leaders you have, the more success you will have. And it can be very difficult to do it. So today I'm going to share with you 3 things that we have done to build an organization full of dynamic leaders. All right, so the first thing is we always try to keep in mind that everything we do throughout the day and the week, we're trying to replace ourselves. So what does that mean? Well, I don't want to be doing the same things for the same people for too long period of time because that creates dependency. And really what you're trying to help your organization do is become independent of you. And so one of the things that we do is we kind of partner inside of our organization for things that we would normally have to do. You could call it an assignment. Okay, so giving out assignments inside the organization. So let me give you some examples of assignments you can give out, things that you would probably normally be doing, right? Like for one, if you're building on social media, many people will be using Facebook groups, whether it's for their own team or it's to share products and services. Well, there's a lot of work that goes into organizing and creating content inside the Facebook group, as well as kind of the administration. So I like to give assignments out inside of our group to see who wants to kind of like self-select and raise their hand basically and show me they're ready to step up into a leadership role. So yes, we have assignments of administrators inside of our Facebook groups. We also will go out to these different leaders and have them help us curate content. Like what kind of content does the team want to hear for the next week, the next month? And we get them involved, giving them an assignment. Maybe you've got the month of August. And for the month of August, we want you to go out and give us the topics that we should be talking about by going out and communicating with the team. Second type thing that we partner with in our organization is under team trainings. And so kind of the same concept that inside of team trainings, many times you're sharing stories of how your products or services are working or how the opportunity is working. And that takes time. Someone's got to go out and organize those calls. Someone's got to go out and call or communicate with those people that are going to share their stories. So in our organization, in our team, we have some of our leaders that are starting to move up and step up into those leadership roles. We assign them out that responsibility where they'll go out, they'll gather the stories, and then we have them host the story. So let's say it's a product type company you have and someone has had an amazing result on a product. Well, we have leaders on our team go out and survey the different organizations within our team, finding those amazing stories, and then calling or texting and scheduling those stories to be shared. And then that leader that's done that, that's gone out and found those stories, we have them kind of do some background work and then we have them host the story. So let's say Mary's had a great result on the product and Gina is the leader that's trying to step up into leadership roles. Well, we have Gina talk to Mary, they figure out the story, they communicate a little bit, and then we have Gina actually host Mary on our team call. Something that we would have done if it wasn't for Gina to go out and step up and take that assignment. The last thing we do to help elevate leaders when it comes to assignments, is in our presentations and our overviews. So there's a story to be told. It's said that network marketing distributors or reps are paid storytellers. And the more you tell the story and the better you get at it, usually the more money you make. And so that is a natural progression for leaders that step up into leadership roles, is instead of just putting people in front of the story, now they're going to be telling the story themselves. And you got to work people into that. Think of it as an assignment. You're partnering with them because remember, you're always trying to replace yourself. If you have to be the one telling the story for the rest of your life, you're not really doing network marketing. You're doing sales. Network marketing, when it's done right, becomes a residual income for you. It's a process by which the organization is growing without your efforts when you're doing it correctly. So first, when it comes to these presentations or overviews, we have them maybe just host it. If it's a Zoom, we just have them host the Zoom. They're setting it up. They're making sure the microphones are right. They're making sure the links got sent out to the right people in the right time. When there's questions about where's the link or what time it is, we don't take those questions. Those leaders that are trying to step up that we've partnered with, they've taken the assignment to host. And then when they're ready, we maybe move them from hosting to actually starting out the presentation by telling their story to the entire world, 3 to 5 minutes. And then once they get comfortable with that, we then move them into actually telling the full product and opportunity story. So there's a progression there, all with the mindset of replacing yourself. So number one, we're going to cover 3 things. Number one is giving them assignments, having people step up, do those assignments, and that will start to help you create leadership in your team. Okay, so the second thing that we do to help create leadership in our team is events, promoting the events, getting people to the events. Let me explain. Events are where leaders are born and found, in my opinion. They are absolutely critical in creating leadership in your team. They do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. And so there's 2 aspects of events that you can implement and to help create leadership in your team. Number one is you want your team attending the industry events around network marketing. Probably your company does some type of an event. Maybe once a year, a few times a year, they're doing events, and those are critical to get your people to, right? But the next step in creating leadership is 2 different type of events. Number one is what many people call a generic industry event. There are events around the world where there are trainers that are not connected to any one company that do events that absolutely elevate the game of the people inside your organization. It opens their eyes to the enormity of the profession, and it also inspires them by hearing stories outside of their company. Because many times people will think, oh yeah, well, so-and-so has made it, and so-and-so is making this kind of money. But then when you get out of the little fishbowl and you get into the ocean of network marketing, you will become mind blown at how big this profession is, how many success stories there are, and it's inspiring. And the third type of an event that I think is critical to attend for you people inside your organization if you're wanting to create leadership is personal development type events. I'm not associated or get any type of compensation from these, but gentlemen like John Maxwell is one that I attend because he has the ability to communicate to me in a way that helps me see things from a point of view that absolutely has helped me create more leadership. But there's many, Tony Robbins, I mean, it goes on and on and on. So those are the 3 things. If your company does an event, make sure you are getting your people there, because that's the first step in creating leadership, so that they see things bigger than just you or in your town. They see things maybe on a national level. Then go to those generic events, maybe one a year, so that they can see the enormity on a worldwide scale of how big this profession is. And then the third type of event in creating leadership that I think is critical is personal development. Now, just as important when it comes to events for your leaders is having them host local type events, whether it's events for their team, it's presentations, or maybe in the world that we're living in today with Zoom and broadcasting the events, let's say your company is doing an event or there is some big generic event that's going on. If you can have members of your team doing events in their home or in their town, in hotels, all over your country or the world, in combination with those other events, it creates culture. But what it also does is creates this responsibility for a leader to learn what it takes to put on an event. Is the music right? Is the venue right? Setting up the contracts, getting the contracts paid. Is the air condition right? Is the audio right? All those things has to be done by somebody. And I can promise you the big earners in your company did events. They took on those responsibilities. And if you want leaders in your organization, you need to help them along. You need to show them the steps, and you start small by having them host some small events, maybe creating a PDF of kind of some checklist of things that they will have to do in order to have a good event. So have them attend those events and then have them do their own events. And the third thing in helping create leaders within your team is providing a model for them to follow. What I mean by that, a pattern, right? A pattern is something that can be duplicated, can be repeated. And so if you want leaders in your team, you first have to lead. People always want these, what we call, rock stars to show up in their organization. Well, first you have to be the rock star. You have to be the person that goes out and does the training. So provide a model for what the trainings should look like, whether that's weekly communication, daily communication, or monthly, or all of the above. Give them a model to follow. What's the cadence? How long is the training? What's the topics being done in the training? What about recognition? Are you providing a model for the proper type recognition in your organization? Because recognition is a huge part of our profession. It motivates many people to do things they wouldn't normally do. Are you showing your leaders the model of what it looks like at all ranks? And then privately, maybe kind of pulling the curtains back and showing what you're doing on a personal level that many people may not see publicly when it comes to recognition for your organization. And we talked about events. Are you providing a model for your leaders to follow when it comes to events? Are you partnering with corporate and showing them the cadence of that model? In other words, are you doing events on a statewide or national level? And if you are, bring some of your leaders into that planning process so that they can see all the things that go on behind the scenes so that they someday can be doing their own events, their own recognition, and their own trainings. Kind of goes back to point number one, as we said, in assignments and partnering. You're always wanting to replace yourself. And the final thing under the topic of modeling or showing a pattern to follow is your own personal success. I have seen many people have success in network marketing, but yet fail outside of the income. And people want to follow someone that has a proven success track record. And a lot goes into this. It's more than just how much money you're earning from the company, but are you actually living the life that someone else wants? Or are you just constantly hustling, constantly doing the deal? And think from the other perspective. If you're struggling to get leaders in your team, it might be because the people on your team are watching all the stuff you're doing and they don't want to do that. So make sure you are providing an example to your team that is attractive, We say all the time that network marketing is an attraction type business. Well, if you're going to attract more people, what you're doing needs to be more attractive. And having personal success outside of network marketing, where things are falling in place, let's face it, if you're not able to have a successful personal life, how in the world are you going to help other people have successful personal life inside or outside of network marketing? So those are the three things. If you're looking to create more leadership inside your team, and you should, because everything rises and falls on leadership, number one is partner with them. Give them assignments. Have them do some of the things you would normally do, because as I've said, you should always be trying to replace yourself. Number two, events are huge. They're just, I can't overstate how important events are in growing leadership in your team. And thirdly, create the model. Create the model for them to follow, whether it's the trainings, the recognition, or the success you're having even outside of network marketing. I hope you've enjoyed this information. If you want more stuff like this, make sure to visit thecunninghamcollective.com and subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you haven't already, smash the subscribe button, share, tell some friends. A great thing to do is to take this topic and have a conversation with your friends about it that are inside the network marketing profession. It's phenomenal what can happen when you elevate your game. So thank you for joining me today. I hope to see you soon.